Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. This is a Gibson Les Paul Traditional. Belongs to a buddy of mine. He's been searching for a Les Paul, and he's been searching like for a historic, kind of like the one that I used to have, that he saw a picture of on my Facebook, and then he told me he had this, and I saw this, and I'm like, all you got to do is, the look is just change these. So I told him to get a burst bucker 2 for the neck and a burst bucker 3 with the nickel plates. These are the 57 and the 57 plus. They're not bad. I do like the burst bucker better, but it's a thin C, you know, like the thin C neck, like the 1960. And it makes me think of Jimmy Page, so I thought I would open with Whole Lotta Love. And with that, I thought it'd be a good thing to show people because, not that I play that song. In fact, I had to listen to the solo to play it before the clip, and I wasn't sure if he was doing when he gets here. I wasn't sure if he did like a, or if he was going. Oh, I wasn't sure what he did there, but it sounds like a pull. I wasn't just gonna do it. It's like whatever. And then in the main section, when everyone plays it, everyone plays Whole Lotta Love. They play it like. But if you listen, at least for me, it sounds like this string is being bent and this string is being played at the same time. So it's like, that's how I hear it. So I hear it as, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing on the record. There's no way to get that sound, but so it's that bending that 5th string, 5th fret. It's bending it like in between and playing the open string at the same time. And that's like the, and then you hear another guitar come in. And then the slide, you know, he has a slide on. And then for the solo, he says. And then it goes right back into the other thing. But yeah, these are very cool guitars. I think he paid like $2 grand for this, or like right around there, maybe 22. And for that, it's a really nice guitar. He's going to get rid of all the electronic stuff that's in here, and just go with the 2 conductor pickups into the old 50s wiring. And I think that'll really make it nice and playable and understandable, and get rid of this battery jack. Just get a regular cover here, because you don't need the battery. I'm not sure what any of that stuff even does, and I don't care. It's just, I like the traditional Les Pauls. I think this has a great look. You know, this is an awesome looking guitar, and I think he should enjoy it. And he was really looking to get rid of this and buy a historic, and I was like, you know, most of the historics he likes are the 58s. He's seen a few in the 59s, and they're big, beefy here, which he doesn't like. I prefer it that way. I had 2 58s at one point, and I ended up selling them. You know, I just, I should have kept one. I had a really nice flame one that came from Dave's Guitars. It was great, and I should have kept it, but I got rid of it. Somebody offered me the right price, and I never play it. I play Strats, and that's just how it goes. But, you know, it's got like a... This sound, I kind of Zeppelin 2'd it a little bit. Listened to a little bit of Zeppelin 2 to get to make the Mustang. It's a Vox amp to make it sound more Jimmy Page. You know, it's got that, thought about doing Achilles. Then I would have to switch sounds, and you know, I'm not really set up for that on this. But yeah, I've been, you know, I've been playing out a lot, and I've been playing my Hot Rod Deluxe, and you know, I use the Angry Charlie for that Marshall sound, that Marshall/Mesa sound that I liked. And it's cool, but for sometimes I feel like I want to have some of that wind pushing, like where the amp is doing that. And you know, I have a Mesa dual rectifier half stack. I have a crank head as well, the Revolution 1 Plus. And I was looking for a 2x12 that would go out, and well, I ended up picking up a buddy of mine's. It's an EVH, and it's been modified with 2 Celestions, the UK made ones, with the 60 watts. So it's a 120 watt cabinet, 8 ohm. I haven't really played it yet, but then I was on Craigslist and I found someone selling a Marshall JCM 900, and I don't know what to do about that one yet. It's in great shape. The Tolex is a mess, and I think about re-Tolexing it in yellow. When I heard it, it sounded terrible, but I had a feeling, because he told me he had put new tubes in it, that it wasn't biased properly. So I dropped it off to my guy who went through the amp, found it to be really clean and really in great shape, and really messed up with the bias. So he adjusted the bias for me, and it immediately sounded like one of those old Marshalls. I don't really dime the distortion and the gain, so I'm not really kicking in that diode that everyone doesn't like on the 900, that clipping diode. I like it right at right breakup, and it sounds great. It's a great sounding amp, you know. It's funny because when I bought the crank from a guy, the guy told me that I should use a pedal with it because it doesn't have enough distortion. And I remember trying out the amp, and I put the distortion on 4. I'm like, oh, that's enough for me. You know, so it's to each his own. I do like the high gain amps. I just don't like diming them. I like them when they're pulled back. Which leads me to a 50 watt Rectiverb combo that I found for sale that I ended up buying. And that looks like that might be my workhorse, although that is a ton. Thank God I started hitting the gym again, because that thing weighs a ton. And I got to put a new handle on it, so I ordered a new handle. And when that handle comes in, I'm going to take it to my tech. He's going to clip one of the wires off the parallel. I mean, I got a thing from Mesa. I had them send me the PDF. He's going to it's a couple of little solders that we do on the to make it from parallel to series in the effects loop. I hate a parallel loop. So once that's done, that might make it out by this Friday for a gig. If not, it's definitely coming out in April, the first week of April, for a gig. And but yeah, I've just been buying. I don't know why I'm buying amps. People are selling them. You know, I got to stop looking on Craigslist. So and then I had, you know, I have a Vox Night Train, and I bought it on Craigslist, and I bought a custom Deliverance cabinet. And it sounds good. I mean, I should say it sounds very good, but not great. And my buddy that sold me the EVH 2x12 is also selling me a Celestion 60 watt made in UK vintage 30. So I'm going to put that in that Deliverance thing. And so then that will be more of a viable thing if I want to go out to like some jams and bring my own amp and my own board. And that's going to be it for the buying. I have my guitars in the shop right now. The one that the neck came in, and he's putting the body together, and he's lacquering the neck now. And then the white one I took to a guy that I have. If you saw my yellow guitar, I have the fret scalloped just on the first 2 strings. And he's going to do that for me too, because when I go to play, like a lot of times if I'm playing like, you know, if I got to do like I like to be able to get underneath it. So it's... That's one of the songs that I like to have that in, because at one point he's like... He does that whole bit. And then there's one part when he goes... yeah, it's like he's doing all that stuff real high up in these bends that are holding it. And, you know, when I'm sitting here playing it and I have the guitar on my leg like this, it's easy. When you're sitting there running around, you're playing at a live club, you know, I just want to grab it, and I don't want to have to think about it or feel like I'm not grabbing under it enough. I've been getting a lot of comments about some of the older videos that I did, some of the Steely Dan stuff, and I will try to put up some new Steely Dan stuff. I just haven't figured out what solo I wanted to do. And then, you know, everyone else has some comments. I'm going to try to do an acoustic one. I think I'm going to do a Bruce Springsteen song, Stolen Car. Somebody brought it up at the cigar shop the other day, and big Bruce fan, and he asked if I did it. And so for Gary, I'm going to do Stolen Car probably in the next week. And someone brought up Turn to Stone, which is a, you know, great. I love that. I mean, he goes, just some great licks by Joe. You know, some great stuff. What else has been happening? Not too much else happening. I've been gigging my ass off. I'm doing a lot of acoustic gigs, and just been playing a lot. I really haven't had time. I've been dieting down. I really got to get my weight down. My goal is to get to 200 pounds shredded by mid-August. So I've been back in the gym every day, 5 days a week. Saturday and Sunday I take as my day off. I'm doing cardio 4 of those days. On leg day I don't. I don't do cardio. I haven't got that kind of torture in me. And so that's been going good. And then once I get that within 20, when I get to 220, then this beard comes off. So when you see the beard come off, that's when you know I've hit my goal, because I hate this thing, and it's the only thing keeping me from going crazy. It kind of keeps me in focus. And some interesting comments about the guitar company thing with the John Mayer. And just so people know where I'm coming from in that, I'm not coming from a guitar player fanboy or any of that point of view, a hater. I'm coming strictly from a manufacturing and artist relations from a company point of view. So when I'm saying about what PRS is doing, I'm commenting on it from, like, if I were to comment on that company, is that what I would think would be the right thing that they're doing? And I don't, personally. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, and you know, I just don't think it brings them the validity. Just like when, okay, for instance, they got Al Di Meola years ago, and they made that goofy rainbow-colored guitar. And I think Al's now back with Les Pauls, but everyone knows him for playing that Les Paul. No matter what PRS could do, they can't take that black Les Paul Custom off the cover of the Elegant Gypsy album. So that does more, I think, for selling the guitar. And of course, everybody knows the Les Paul. The reason why everyone wanted a Les Paul was because of Aldo Nova. I'm kidding, but I used to love that. His guitar had a laser in the front, and he got out there with the leopard pajamas. There's a guy in leopard pajamas shooting people with a Les Paul. Get him, you know. But that But no, I mean, you look at a Les Paul like this, I don't know what you see, but I see Jimmy Page. I see, like, a lot of the classic players playing this, Mick Ralphs, you know, and there's something to be said about that. Because all that happened before the whole endorsement thing where that became the big thing. Kiss only uses Gibson guitars and Pearl drums. And then Kiss Alive 2 comes out and Paul's holding an Ibanez Iceman. Kiss only uses Gibson guitars. Ignore the Ibanez Iceman in every picture. But I think, like, if it's early on in your career, I think there's a deal to get tied up with somebody. I just don't see it now in John Mayer's career, and that's why I brought that up. And a friend of mine was talking to me, came out to a gig, and he was talking to me about this, and he was like, he's not really a musician, but he's like, I like this channel because the thing is more like a blog, and it really is. And so that's kind of like, it's my opinions and whatnot, and you can comment and rip on them and whatever you want. It's all good to me. I don't care. You hear? I post on other people's things all the times too. I like to get good laughs, and I do, and it's good. I like to have fun. In fact, recently I posted on a friend of mine was sending me all these things. Sessions presents Love Ballads, and you see these two lovers by a tree reunited. It's playing like all these like Jack Wet, All I Need, playing all these songs, and then out of nowhere, Nights in White Satin comes on. I'm like, what? What the heck? Oh yeah, Cold Hearted Orb that ruled the night. Oh honey, this is so romantic. It's like, what the hell is this guy talking about? There's an Englishman reading poetry on the record player. You want to shut that off so we can have sex now? Thank you. But it's funny because, so then she was sending me, I made a whole comment about like, and I commented on the thing, what the hell is Nights in White Satin on this? And then the next thing you know is like she sends me another one from the 80s, and it's like all these 80s songs in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, Nights in White Satin. And then I think I sent her Freedom Rock. Whoa, turn it up. So, and Freedom Rock had Nights in White Satin. And I'm like, somehow the guys in the Moody Blues must have been on the horn going, hey, listen, you guys are putting sessions, you guys are putting together, yeah, we want Nights in White Satin on everything. Yeah, put it on everything, yeah. Get an OK-Tel call, they're going to do it too. Okay. It's just insane. But, and I hate that song. And it's funny, because like I notice a lot of non-musicians, I should say, ordinary folk. No, but people who aren't musicians usually like or love like songs that when musicians hear that song, they never want to play them again. I mean, it's like, I go to a blues jam and someone says, oh, you guys should do Mustang Sally. What? It's like, I never want to hear that song again. I don't want to hear Brown Eyed Girl again. I don't want to hear Nights in White Satin ever. I don't want to hear, there's a lot of songs I just don't want to hear. They're awful. And it's funny because we do like the songs that we do in our band. We try to do songs that, people haven't heard in a while, like, like Aaliyah by Donny Iris, that type of thing. And songs that are not overplayed terribly. And, somebody will come up and they'll be like, can you do like Simple Man? Look, I love Skinner, but I don't want to hear Simple Man. Everyone does Simple Man. I'd rather do, whatever, Tuesday's Gone, or anything like I Know a Little, Why is it sound? Oh. Yeah. So, like, something like that, I'd be like, yeah, let's work on that. Let's get that down. But Simple Man, yeah, no, yeah. You see, here's the, let's put it this way. If you come to a gig, like when I'm playing an AM station, and you come up and you request a song, I will tell you right now, you're not in good shape if I start off my response with, yeah, here's the thing about that. But, Otherwise, if you don't hear that, you might be in pretty good shape. We might pull it off. Ooh. You know, I've been listening to a lot of Jackson Browne lately, and I really love his stuff. It's just great. It's great stuff. And what other stuff? I listened to a bunch of Chicago recently. But yeah, man, the Les Paul, huh? I always think of the Les Paul. When I think of the Les Paul, I always think of Lukather in that video, and then maybe I should do Breakdown Dead Ahead soon. That would be a cool one to do. I used to know part of it. I know he does that chromatic walk down. Yeah, I don't know it off the top of my head. There's too many songs. You know, it's funny. Also, another thing is someone said to me, like, about doing all these songs. They're like, oh, can you show me it? I'm like, I don't remember, because some of them I just learned to do here, and then some of them I'm doing them because my band has done it, and I want to remember it. And I can't remember, the songs I know on the top of my head. So I can go back and I watch my intros, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I played it. Okay, I remember how it goes now. Just makes it easy for me. We had a couple of storms come through Massachusetts, and they were duds. Couple of duds the last couple, so thank God the snow hopefully is over now. And I'll be doing more videos about I'll be doing a video with my guitar, and I'll be bringing up some of the amps up here into this room and bringing them and playing. And maybe I'll bring out my Zoom camera and do some show you my amp room, which is just insane. Because I mean, in here I have, like, there's a Flexstone 3 back there, which is, by the way, if you're looking for a bedroom amp that you can do on your computer or you can hang around and do, I'm using the Mustang for this computer, but if it's really, that Line 6 Flexstone is a phenomenal amp, the Flexstone 3. You can program it the way you want it to sound. And if you use it and you want me to send you some sounds, send me your email and I can send you some of my sounds. Like, I've sampled like a bunch, like mimicked it and made it sound like my dual rectifier. I made it sound like an old Vox I had. I made it sound like a deluxe reverb I used to have. So it really sounds like so many different amps, and it's great. Flexstone 3. And it's just easy. And then over here I have like a Behringer bass amp for me to, when I sit and thump around a little bit. And then up here is a Line 6 Spider 415. And I use that, you know, like to teach or run around with it. It's a grab, you know, want something quick to grab and whatnot. But that's all I really got for today. Not too much. This is a Les Paul. In case you haven't seen a Les Paul before, this is what one looks like. That's called sarcasm, folks. Pay attention. Oh, and then the other day someone saw my shirt and they were like, oh, I love Miller High Life. I'm like, yeah, it says Newton High Life. This is actually a shirt, and then in the back it says, like, dope, money, drugs, whatever it is. Guns, dope, drugs. It's actually from the Newton Division in Los Angeles, is in the South Central. And it's T-shirts that, like, the gang unit guys wear and the narcotics guys. They have, like, their own inside jokes on stuff. So I used to do some work with them, with a PAL program, doing music for kids in the... getting them out of gangs and trying to get them, you know, involved in, like, music and whatnot. And we used to do a thing where I would have guitar companies donate gear, and we would give, like, acoustic guitars to people who were the most improved students and that really wanted to learn music. It was a cool program, and that was the Newton Division Police in South Central. I think Columbo's going to be starting in 30 minutes, and I'm going to watch it. So for now... very good.
How's that for a topper?
You're right on target. Right on the money. Everything you said. You hit the nail right on the head. with your comments, what you're saying today. You're 150% correct.